Okay, Billy's still sleeping. He's gonna meet me at the shop when he wakes up. But I'm leaving. I'm wearing a t-shirt. Like 53 degrees out here, and it is 11:20. But I had stuff to do before I leave. For example, I had to fire this bad boy up. This is my Rectech 700, the Bull. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. Any of you have been following me forever. We have her set it. You see, we have it set at 225. Right now my probe's reading 46 degrees. Cool thing is I can control this whole thing from my phone. I can control the smoke flow, I can control the heat, I can shut it on or off, I can control everything. There is dinner. Big pork loin. That's gonna be amazing. I marinated it for 18 hours. I seasoned it in wood-fired garlic dry rub. I love that stuff. And then in here is a combination of hickory and apple wood. So we're headed over to the shop because I had this fantastic idea. And when I say I had this fantastic idea, what I mean is I stole this idea from Spencer Lilly. But to be fair, it wasn't his idea either. It came on a product that he bought. And I think it's genius. And I think it'll help the same thing with me as it's helping him. Just not on so big of a level. Come on. So here's my idea. Spencer's idea. Somebody else's idea. Let me show you. So you guys all know that I run power chutes on everything, right? Now what has a power chute? This is a power chute. That 32-inch standard is a power chute. The Ferris has one. The V-Ride 1 that belongs to Noah has one. The V-Ride 2 has one. The 56 side discharge for the Walker MT has one. Everything has one because it's my favorite by far. I've tried them all. I've had everyone sent to me except for one brand I have not had sent to me, and this one's where I got my reference point from. So I mean, I love them. You can have a toggle switch for them or a foot pedal. We did go with toggles for a while. I switched everything to foot pedal. It's so much easier. You don't take your hands off it. You just press the button, down it goes. Press the button the other way, up it goes with just a flick of your foot. That's it. Or you can close it down part way. I can stop it wherever I want. Leave it open just a hair, just little. No matter how many times I press it, right? So that's the whole thing. The problem with it is that these plates get bent up. Okay, they get bent a lot. You know, you try the best you can to avoid hitting them on things. Sometimes it just happens. They get bent up. Last year we did way more accounts than we've ever done in the past, so they got used a lot more, obviously, and there was a lot more issue with bent up. So once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on when time allowed, we would take like a Saturday or something. We'd pull the bolts off each side, pull them off, stick them in the vise, crank the vise, and flatten them back out. That always worked pretty well. The one on the V-Ride 2 has been straightened so many times. There's been 4 or 5 different people run that mower. And it's the point where it just doesn't go completely flat anymore. It's close and it does a decent job. It's just not the way it should be. So I was over at Spencer's the other day, and I saw I had him running power chutes for a while, and he recently switched to a different brand. I can't think of the name of the brand. Y'all probably know what it is. It's the kind that you can either bolt it to the deck or it has magnets just sticks it right to the deck. Works exactly the same as a power chute. Their motor's about that big around, so it's definitely a bigger motor, but essentially does the same thing. The only issue I found with their motor is it doesn't stop. So with the power chute motor, when you hit the button, make it come up, it comes up to its stopping point and it stops. Spencer had to run a bolt through the side of his, so when it comes up, it'll stop it and it won't go too far because it was keep going and it would hit stuff on the deck. So he fixed that problem. The thing I saw in his that I really liked, that stuck out to me, was this isn't a steel plate, it's rubber. And the issue he had with his, now he has a much bigger company, has multiple employees running things on. You can, anybody with a heartbeat could be on one of his machines. They're not going to pay that much attention to it. They're just there to get stuff mowed and get out of there. And they smashed the crap out of his plates all last season. I mean, just mangled. And so he went with this new brand because of the new style. Now, I'm not switching from power chute. I'll never switch from power chute. It's my go-to. And as far as customer support, hands down, Alex is the best. So I'll never switch from power chute. But if I can find a way to make it work better, then that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to try this idea like I saw on the one that he has, and I'm going to get with Alex because I highly doubt this aspect of it is patent with that other company. And I'm going to see if maybe Alex will come out with an option like this, because I messed around with Spencer's and it works great, and it gets rid of that problem with smashing that plate up. So it has a metal strip about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. It runs right along the top, right? And so it has the brackets to bolt to the frame where it connects to the pin that goes up and down. Mine's all bent up right now. I have to fix this. That's another part with hitting this and this taking the blunt of it and bending and yanking it different ways. It bends this rod, which allows it to come up and down straight. It pulls this washer out of there, pulls this plate that holds the arm up against the teeth, holds that on. This whole thing needs bent back over. So that's another issue that was causing. I've even had it happen where I've hit on stuff, not even that hard, and it's broke the mounts for the motor, all because this plate hits stuff and there's no give to it. Okay, I know it's our fault, 100% our fault, but sometimes you just can't help it. We try to avoid it as much as we can. Sometimes it happens. So with that being said, so my plan is I have a few of these extras, right? They're all brand new, so I'm not going to do anything to them. I'm going to do it to this one right here, and I'm going to try it out on this, and then if I like it, I'm going to do it to the other ones. So based off the idea there is with the metal strip that runs along there and then rubber down, the metal strip is to hold the rubber so it's flat, so it stays straight and doesn't curve or bend or anything like that. So I'm going to take this power chute right here. I'm going to put it back in the vise over there. I'm going to make sure it's good and flat and straight. And I'm going to make a line right at the base of these arms that come up to connect on here. And I'm going to cut it all the way down. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this piece. I'm going to make it, I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to do it. I'm going to somehow attach this piece right here so that my arm still connects to the strip that runs along there. I have this that came off of this machine. It was brand new. I took it right off. It's nice, thick rubber. It's the same thickness as the stuff that Spencer has in that new power chute. I'm obviously never going to use this. I pull them off as soon as I buy the mowers, and I have piles of them. They're for every mower I own. They're sitting around here. The ones that came with the rubber, the metal ones are sitting here too. So I'm going to use that rubber, and I'm going to measure it out exact to that, and I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to bolt that piece right through this strip right here that I'll have left, which will be the exact same style as that one he has. With it being rubber, anytime it hits something, it'll bend and then flip right back, just like these. That's why, so for years and years, all these side discharge chutes that came stock on mowers, they were all metal. Years ago, a whole bunch of them started switching to using rubber for that exact reason. When they hit something, they bend and they come back out, or they'll bend up and they'll come back out, alleviating the problem of bending to where it doesn't come back because it's metal, or ripping it off or doing any damage. The answer for it was rubber. That's why the other company that's now making a very similar copy to this power chute uses rubber instead of metal. So I'm going to try to do that with this here. Okay, so I did a little bit of stuff off camera because I wanted to screw around and kind of get myself an idea of how I was doing this. So let me show you where I'm at. So I pulled the chute off there. There's a little bolt. These things here, these go through and then through there, and a bolt on the end. It gives a little bit of room to play. That's a problem, however. We've always had an issue with that because it allows this to flop up and down because they never go too tight, but you don't want them too tight because it has to rotate. But it allows this to flop like that. So I've often had the idea of putting a bolt through there, a regular bolt with a lock nut, and snug it up just enough that it still allows the flap to move so these won't wobble like that. I've also thought of the idea of just running a rod straight through the whole thing, because this never actually comes, it only comes to like there. So this won't get in the way. So this won't get in the way of anything. It actually stops like right there. So I've actually thought of putting a rod straight through there and then a lock nut on the end, and that'll give it more stability, make it closer to the width of this hole, because with these being single bolts, one, it allows it to move because this isn't the exact size of the hole, and two, by allowing it to move, it eggshells or eggs these out, like it widens them out, makes them bigger, which allows it to then move even more, and the plate becomes even more floppy. So that's always been an issue. So I'm gonna do something different with that. Here's my idea. So I took that apart, just a bunch of 9/16 bolts, carriage bolts, and I'm gonna put this on here, and I'm going to trace it out to cut to the size I want. Now my initial thought was I was gonna cut this off to where this arm connects. I was gonna cut that off and move it up there and just re-weld it right there. I don't know 100% for sure if that's gonna affect the way this goes down and connects to it, or what the deal is, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's gonna actually close it right. And I started thinking, why am I even gonna gamble on that when I can just cut it across there, cut down. It doesn't matter if this piece comes down a little bit lower, because the only part that's gonna bend, that I even want to bend if I bump into something, are the ends. Just like these corners of it is the only part. I'm gonna have the whole metal strip across there, so the whole thing can't bend anyway. If it does, you're just gonna bend this whole strip. The main point is to stop. This is where all the impact goes. It's always down in here or right in there on the back side, but more often than not on the front here, it's always right in this area right here. So about that much of it is what hits, and it impacts all the way down. So if it hits there, bends the rubber over, because from here down it'll be rubber. So I'm just gonna cut like that, leave that right there. If that becomes an option, I can always at that point cut that off and move it up there. But if I cut it and move it up there and it doesn't work the right way, I can't put it back down here unless I re-weld this whole piece back on there, which I'm not gonna do. So I'm gonna cut it like this, measure that out, get this cut, get some holes drilled, bolt through there, and then I will I'll show you at that point exactly what we got. I may even just use this hardware. We'll see. Okay, well, my phone was sitting here ringing. I had the grinder going, grinder wheel, wire wheel. I got my piece cut. Actually, probably still three more. Ain't too bad. There's my piece. It will go on there like that, bolt through. Still got to cut this out. But anyway, phone's going crazy. Billy called. He's like, I was gonna come to the shop, help you out with some stuff. And yeah. Locking my door? Yeah, it is. He's like, I was gonna help you out with some stuff, but I hit the remote start for my truck, and now when I got ready, I walked outside to leave and locked the door behind me and locked my keys in the house. He's like, so now my truck's running and I'm locked outside and I can't get in my truck. So, all right, be there in a few minutes, so let's go get Billy. What's the matter, Billy? There's your friend Katie. She followed me all the way here. Billy!
Y'all want to go fishing?
No, look at Billy's truck's all black again. Still gotta do the body work down there. We haven't gotten to that, but painted the door, so at least it ain't multicolor anymore.
Look, we go fish. Yeah, I got 2 poles. I got a chair we can sit in. Got a squirrel tail.
But you can't drive your truck to the lake.
Kinda can.
Okay, we're back. So now I said the last step I was on, I cut that piece out. I have to cut that out. I'm gonna get a razor knife. I'm gonna cut that rubber flap out, and then we're gonna get some holes drilled in this piece here. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go 2, 2, 2. I probably don't even need that much. I can probably go 2, 1, 2. But go big or go home, right? Why not overdo it? So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so there it is, all cut out. That will go on there. Just like that. Now all I gotta do is drill holes through there, like that. And then I will get it and put bolts in there, get it put back on the machine there, and then make sure it works the right way. If it works the right way, then I'll take it off. I'll take the bolts back out, and I'm gonna shoot this with some primer, then some paint so it doesn't rust. And then once it dries, put it back on and be good to go.
There you go, Pops.
Okay, so I drilled the holes through all of that, set it on there, marked all my holes with a Sharpie. I'm just gonna go run. I drilled them up to 3/8, and which I believe is what those are. Yeah, they're 3/8. So I don't know if I'm gonna use them yet, but I think the reason why I want to use them is because when this is on there, then I can put them through this way. That square head will sink into the rubber on the back, but at the same time, it'll be that flat part on the inside, which will be up against the mower. So no bolt head will be protruding through. So let me drill those out real quick, and then we'll start assembling this thing.
Finger caught there.
Okay, she's together. That one that I took apart right there only had 5 in it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously. There's another hole there. I can add another one at any time. I don't think it's gonna need it. Of course, the Cares bolts try to spin on the back, so I just held them with channel locks, hit it with the 3/8 impact, and ran them right in there, no problem. So there it is. There's the chute blocker. It is the exact same size as the one that was on there, only now it's rubber. So I'm gonna get this put back together, and then I will bring you guys back, and we will see. At that point, I'll test it out. We'll see how it operates, and we'll go from there. Like I said, I think what I'm gonna try to do is get one bolt. I might have to run over the hardware store if I don't have one. It runs the full length versus the 2 that are there. Okay, it's on. I will show you guys it working, and then I'll bring you in and show you up close. But I already like it. Up, down, up, stop it anywhere, down, stop it anywhere I want in between. It actually stops better with that one solid piece in there. Not that it should have anything to do with it, but it does. Okay, so one solid piece. I never put the bolt on it. It's a lot tighter now, other than the bomb can pull out, but it seems like it's holding it tighter against the machine. When it had just these bolts in it, one in each part, it never seemed to hold tight against the machine. Right now, it's tight. Hear that? See, it's held tight. It never seemed to hold tight against the machine. Like you could pull it out and wiggle it when it had those bolts in there. So I think this one solid rod is the right ticket. I used the existing holes there. I didn't drill mine bigger. It's 3/8 and 8 inches long is the one I got. So I have the nut. It was on this other one that was 7 inches that I had, wasn't long enough, so I went to the store and bought that one. It was $2.99 for that one bolt. But I'm gonna put this lock nut on the end of it so it doesn't come off. This arm, just like I thought, doesn't interfere with it at all. So definitely, whether I switch the other ones to a rubber flap, they are all getting this solid bolt through. I'm gonna pull all the little ones out on every one of them. They're all getting an 8-inch bolt through, definitely, because like I said, you see how tight that's held, and it never held that tight. For some reason, the engine or that motor never held it that tight before. I don't know why, but that definitely took care of that. So I really like it, definitely like it. I probably am gonna switch them all over. I think for now, like I said, I'm just gonna run this one. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking I might do the V-Ride 2 as well, since they're the 2 main mowers, because come the season, I'm probably not gonna have a whole lot of time to make that. But to be honest with you, this took me about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes to do. And that's just because I had to figure a bunch of stuff out. Now that I know how I want it done and the easiest way to do it, I bet you I can do this in 25 minutes, half hour most, no problem. The only difference with that machine is on the Skag, the deck curves in the back, but half the time the part of the metal flap that is pre-bent and curved for it, half the time that thing gets bent and whacked out of the way anyway, and it never even matters. And we really don't care if a little bit of grass shoots out the back. It's shooting out this way towards flower beds, cars, houses, things like that we don't want. If a little bit of it shoots out the back, we could care less. So I don't really care too much about that. I'll just probably keep it straight as far back as I can. You'll probably only leave about a 3 to 3.5 inch gap to where it doesn't curve around, but still, even at that, it's only going to be open maybe 1.5 inches or so to where stuff can even come out. So I'll keep it straight like this one. I probably will do that one too, maybe tomorrow or Monday. And we're gonna run these two and find out. And like I said, if it turns out to be as good as I think it's gonna be, I'm switching them all over to this. And I'm definitely gonna get with Alex about this bolt here and about coming up with an idea for a rubber flap design instead of the metal, and see what he thinks. I'm pretty sure he's mentioned it to me before that he was contemplating that idea. I just can't remember exactly. So that's it. Thanks guys for tuning in again to another one. I cannot wait. Within the next couple weeks, 2 weeks I'd say at most. Next week I think we're gonna start a few light cleanups, but after that, within 2 weeks or so, you know, we always start mowing around here before anybody else, and everyone else always like, I can't believe you guys are mowing. Not that I really care what anybody thinks anyway. And we just start knocking them out. So we're gonna start mowing here in the next couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. We're gonna be starting cleanups, we're gonna be starting landscaping, so definitely be way better content than I've had for y'all this winter. So my phone's dinging like crazy because my camera system, I got a camera up there, a camera right there, and every time I move, it sends an alert to my phone, which goes to my watch. But anyway, the other thing I'm gonna love about not having them bolts down there is they all have that hex head, and you have to have one of these to get into one side of it, and then a 1/2 inch wrench to get on that side to take them out. Now it's just 2 wrenches, done. I forgot to take that off. I'm a big fan. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If you made it this long, if you lasted this long in the video, let me know down in the comments what do you guys think about this idea. I think it was a good idea to do this. Do you think that Alex should come out with this? He's always looking for customer feedback. He's phenomenal with that and trying to adapt to it. So do you think he should come out with rubber flaps instead of the metal ones as an option? The guys who want the metal can still get the metal. Let me know in the comments. Alex will definitely watch this video and he'll read them. So give us your feedback. Let us know what you think.